Hello, my name is Rayan McCracken, a student here at GCU University, and I am here to talk about teacher dispositions and kind of give myself a self-assessment on what dispositions I think are my strongest and what dispositions I think I need to work on to be a better teacher in a classroom. Some of my dispositions that I think are my strongest are definitely going to be compassion and advocacy and dedication within a classroom. My most important one, my number one ranked was compassion. I think that it's important to show care and empathy to children in a classroom and show them that their good work and the way that they do things in a classroom is important. And doing that by giving them motivational things like tasks or just saying, hey, you did a good job, it helps motivate children to do great in the classroom. So I think that is probably my number one. My number two would be advocacy. I think it's very important for teachers to advocate when they see that something isn't going right for a student in a classroom. Like, I've had times in the past where I've had to do that. I've had to be that person that would advocate for a student because he wasn't where he needed to be in my classroom. He wasn't able to talk. He wasn't even able to cut or write his name without having to trace it. So I spoke to my management and I explained to them that this was a problem, that we needed to do something to fix the situation because what he needed he was not able to get in my classroom, because my classroom, I don't have kids that are tracing. I don't have kids that are unable to talk. I don't have kids that are unable to cut. And that's where a majority, I would say almost all of my classroom was. So he needed some extra time, maybe outside of a classroom with one-on-one time, or he needed to be put in another placement so that he could get that full-on one-on-one time where he can be able to catch up and be successful later on in life. My third dispositions that I ranked highest in for my teacher disposition self-assessment is dedication in a classroom. I think that I am very dedicated whenever it comes to not only being a teacher, but being active in the classroom. I think it's important to constantly do your curriculum, making sure that homework is getting done, advocating for these children, and being dedicated that they are learning the material that they are needing to know before progressing on into another classroom. The dispositions that I need to work on before I enter a classroom setting as a first-year teacher would definitely be curiosity and reflection, as well as my professional conduct. As you can see now, it is hard for me to talk in front of even a video, and for me, it's kind of the same way when I talk in front of a classroom. I stutter over my words. I'm unable to sometimes sit still, and I kind of lose my train of thought as I go on. And so definitely learning how to be a positive role model for my students and teaching them that it is okay to have a brave face on and to sit here and talk in front of a camera or in front of a crowd of people and say, if I can do it, you can do it too. So I think that would be something that I really need to work on. As well as sitting here today, I can say that I don't really look outward from our curriculum for ways that I can teach and ways that I can engage in my classroom. I have been teaching in an early education center since 2018. I have had my fair share of going into a classroom and not really having much curiosity about ways that I can better my teaching in a classroom, because we have always been given a binder that has our curriculum in it, and I would go open up that binder, get some papers out, and that's what we would do. So I never really had curiosity to learn and explore beyond what is required for me in that binder. And so learning that would definitely, and learning what tools I have available to me so that I can give them to these students would definitely be something that I want to learn about, as well as reflection. It is important to me to reflect on my everyday with these students, and I do that, but it's hard for me to do that sometimes because I come home and I'm a mom, I'm a student, and I'm a wife. So sometimes I come home and I leave work at work and I leave home at home. So when I come home from work, I'm too busy. I don't really sit here and I don't think about it. And before you know it, it's time for bed, it's time to start the new day, and I never really have time to sit there and reflect on what I can do to better for that day. So I want to learn and give my time and learn how to reflect on things that I can do better for my students in a classroom. The other last disposition that I think I need to work on is my professional conduct in a classroom. As you can see, it's hard for me to sit here and talk in front of a video camera, and it's the same way in a classroom. I stutter over my words sometimes. I don't have a lot of faith and confidence in myself, and so this is something that I need to work on as an educator so that in the future I can go into a classroom and I can say, hey, if I can do it, so can you. We can stand up in front of a class, we can talk to our other students, we can sit here and we can work on this together, but I also want to have faced this fear of mine, and I want to be able to show students how to do that so that they can do and have the confidence that I will have in the future. The qualities that a professional educator should display, I think, are definitely compassion in a classroom. As I said before, that is my number one asset in a classroom. I feel that I am very compassionate about my children and their learning and just talking to them every single day. No matter how long the story goes, I have enough compassion in a classroom to say, I can listen, I can let you be heard. And so having that is very important for a teacher in a classroom, as well as, like I said before, advocacy. It is very important for students to be able to have someone that can advocate for them in a successful manner, not just like they don't think that this child is doing great in their class and they need to be moved, but that this child is having difficulties in their class and they need other tools to help them be successful in their classroom, or having some one-on-one time with teachers to be successful. I think that those are really important qualities for teachers to have in a classroom. And yeah, overall, my dedication, my compassion, and my advocacy for my students in a classroom are the biggest dispositions that I think I possess, and the ones that I think I need to work on are my professional conduct, my curiosity, and my reflection in a classroom. Thank you.